You ever hear someone say, "Don't mess with old folks, they've seen worse"? Yeah. Well, Karen didn't get the memo. See, I live on a quiet ranch with my grandfather, Tom Mason. He's 84, wheelchair-bound. But don't let that fool you. The man survived Vietnam, took shrapnel to the leg, and still quotes Churchill like he's prepping for battle. After his stroke, I brought him out to live with me. Figured he deserved sunsets and catfish, not bingo cards and fluorescent lights. I turned the place into his personal rehab camp. Built him a ramp, gave him a reading spot under the oaks, and every morning he'd roll out there with his thermos and a paperback and just be. So one Saturday, I'm gone for a couple hours. Training run with the fire crew. Nothing major. I left him comfortable, sipping that god-awful instant coffee he swears by, reading The Guns of August. When I got back, I didn't even make it to the porch before I heard her voice, sharp, bossy, like a dentist scolding a kid mid-drill. I round the barn, and there she is, Karen Barlow, president of the Silver Rock Meadows HOA, towering over my grandfather, gripping his wheelchair like she's about to cart him off to Goodwill. I froze. Tom's face was flushed, and there's a red mark on his cheek. She starts rambling about trespassing and community safety and how she thought he was a squatter. I didn't say a word. I just pulled out my phone, hit record, and asked the only question that mattered. "Did you touch him?" She scoffs, says he was being uncooperative, that she just redirected him. Yeah, well, her version of redirecting left a welt on the face of an 84-year-old war vet. She didn't even live on our property. We weren't part of the HOA. She literally walked through our side gate, uninvited. And when I called her out, she panicked, turned, and ran. Not walked. Full sprint, 400 flats flying, or flats. You'd think it'd end there. But no, that woman doesn't retreat. She reloads. Next morning, there's a neon orange flyer zip-tied to our fence, warning the community about a mentally unstable elder male near the boundary. Didn't name him, but it had a zoomed-in photo of Tom from behind, taken from their side of the fence. I ripped it down, tried to brush it off. But that afternoon, Adult Protective Services showed up. Clipboard lady, business casual, said she got a report of neglect. I gave her the tour, ramp, medical setup, grab bars, everything clean, safe, better than most rehab centers. Tom even offered her coffee and beat her in Scrabble. She left red-faced but said, "Protocol required a write-up." Yeah, of course. That night, someone egged our gate. One shell had "Crazy Lives Here" written in Sharpie. You ever feel the air shift, like a storm's rolling in? But it's personal. Then came Cynthia. That's the twist nobody saw coming. Cynthia used to be the secretary for the HOA. Quiet lady, always looked like she was holding in a sigh. Showed up at my place past midnight, hoodie pulled tight, eyes puffy like she hadn't slept in days. She handed me a USB and whispered, "She's done this before." Karen, she meant. On that drive, video clips, years worth. Karen screaming at a landscaper, harassing a teen at the pool, pushing an old woman during a yard inspection, all of it covered up by the HOA, buried, erased, or excused. Cynthia had backed it all up before she quit. "She's a bully with bylaws," she said, "and no one stops her. But you can." So I made a reel, 5 minutes long, a highlight reel of HOA tyranny. Uploaded it to YouTube, titled it, "HOA President, Assaults Veteran, History of Abuse Exposed." By noon, it hit 50,000 views. By sunset, over 300,000. And then came the nuclear option, a mini excavator, rolling right into my yard. 2 contractors, bright vests, clipboard, and a smug attitude. They said they were ordered by the HOA to remove unauthorized structures. That ramp I built for Tom? Yeah, apparently it was obstructing the view corridor. I told them to back off. It was permitted, inspected, legal. They didn't care. Said Karen told them this part of the land was disputed. When that excavator claw hit the edge of Tom's ramp, something in me broke. I sprinted, waving, yelling, "Shut it down!" They didn't, so I jumped in front of the machine, arms wide, heart pounding. "You go one more inch," I told the operator, "and I swear I'll rebuild this ramp out of your damn bones." That's when the sirens came. Cops pulled up. One of them was Morales, a buddy from my firefighting days. He saw the wreckage, heard the story, and shook his head. Contractors packed up fast after that. But that night, that was the worst. Found a doll in the mailbox. Cheap plastic, marker bruised on the cheek, stapled to its dress. Some people don't belong here. We went to court, and the courtroom? Packed wall to wall. Neighbors, strangers, veterans in uniform, even some of the local press. Karen showed up in a blue pantsuit, like she was heading to brunch. Didn't look at me. Didn't look at Tom. But the second the footage rolled, the slap, the ramp destruction, the emails calling Tom visual clutter, the silence was deafening. Even the judge looked sick, Cynthia testified. Jorge, the excavator guy, testified too. Said Karen told him, "He's just a squatter. He'll be dead in a year anyway." The jury took 4 hours. Guilty on all counts. Assault on a vulnerable adult. Trespassing. Property destruction. Defamation. Karen got 18 months in county jail. Lifetime ban from any HOA board. Silver Rock Meadows was fined $270,000. 3 board members placed on probation. The next day, the photo of her in cuffs went viral. One caption read, "HOA, handcuffed on arrival." Memes exploded, but I didn't care about that. What mattered was what came after. We rebuilt the ramp, stronger. At the base, a bronze plaque. Tom Mason protected this land twice. That morning, he rolled out slow, coffee in one hand, other resting on the wheel. Looked at the plaque and said, "You didn't have to do all that." "Yeah," I said, "I did." A week later, we threw a BBQ, real one. No HOA potluck, no RSVPs, just folks. Vets, neighbors, even Cynthia and her daughter. Tom gave a little speech, raising his thermos. "I've fought 2 wars, he said. One with bullets, one with bylaws. The second one might have been worse." Everyone laughed. But we all knew he wasn't really joking. You know, sometimes the quietest places hide the loudest fights. And sometimes justice doesn't wear a badge. It wears work gloves, carries a hammer, and builds ramps that no one tears down again. Now tell me, have you ever had to fight for someone you love? Drop your story in the comments. Let's talk about justice, about bullies hiding behind rules, about what it means to protect your people. Because sometimes, the real HOA doesn't stand for Homeowners Association. It stands for Hell on Arrival.